Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing kind of an eyelashes 101 type video. Now this video came from my Bright Besties community here on YouTube. I asked them what videos they want to see and so many of them were like, we want a super in-depth tutorial on lashes and not just like a how to apply lashes, but kind of just all the questions that people have I wanted to answer in this video. So I asked you guys on Instagram and YouTube, what questions do you have about fake eyelashes? What kind of things do you struggle with? And we're going to go over all of your questions today in this video. We're going to talk about how to trim, place, clean, remove the lashes, how to deal with the glue, how to store them, a little bit about half lashes versus full lashes, the best eyelashes for your eye shape. Like, we're going over everything today. So I hope in this video I can answer any burning questions you have about fake eyelashes. I do already have two kind of recent how to apply fake eyelashes tutorials on my channel. I'll link them both down below. One focuses on half lashes and one focuses on full strip lashes, and in both those videos I'm using my brand, the Bright Lashes. So I do recommend you watch those videos as well as this one just to get all the information you need, because maybe I answer a question in one of those videos instead. I will be mentioning my lashes quite a bit in this video, but I will also talk about some other brands as well. Obviously I kind of love my brand the best out of all the lash brands I've tried, but all of my lashes are cruelty free because they're not made out of animal hair. It's all synthetic fibers. They are $12 a piece, and we do carry half lashes and full strip lashes. And I did want to give you guys a little discount if you're watching this video all about fake eyelashes. So if you use the code YouTube at checkout, you'll save 15% on the Bright Lashes. I'm also going to leave a lot of helpful information down below in the description box, like those two videos I just talked about, where to get my lashes, where to get other brands of lashes, some links I'm going to talk about as well. So check down there for some additional info. All right, now let's dive into your questions and apply some lashes, and I'm going to go so in depth. I hope this is helpful. So someone asked, how do I measure the lashes to fit your lash line and where to trim them if they're too long? So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that with a fresh pair of lashes. I am using the style Nova from my brand, the Bright Lashes. So personally, when I'm trimming a new pair of fake eyelashes, I actually find it best to trim them when you have a very natural face of makeup on, which is exactly what I did today. My whole face is done and I just have like a tiny bit of bronzer in my crease and mascara on. I have no eyeliner, and I always recommend putting on your mascara first, because if you put mascara on the fake eyelashes themselves, it's going to make them not last as long. They're going to be harder to clean. It's just going to be kind of messy. So I always do my mascara first, always, always, always. All right, so when you have a new pair of lashes, these have never been taken out of the case or anything, you want to gently pull the lashes out of their case, kind of by the base of the lash if you can. And I always start from the outer corner, because if you accidentally like pull out a lash, you're probably going to trim the outer corner anyway, so that's okay to do. So I am just gently pulling on the outer corner there, kind of doing a little tug, and use my finger to get the rest of it off, just like that. Okay, so here's what Nova looks like straight out of the case. And when I look at a pair of lashes, I look at it in clusters. So you can see a cluster there, there, there. So I look at it kind of like that. So when I'm trimming the lash to check the length of it, I like to have my mascara on already, like I talked about, because that's how you're going to apply your lash anyways. And it'll be easier to kind of see like the end of your eye and where the lashes should end, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is pretend to pop on the lash. There's no glue or anything on this. And I'm going to look down into a mirror. So I might switch to my phone camera here. So you can see I have this little like flippy mirror here. This is what I always use when I do my makeup. And I'm looking down into my mirror. I'm going to place that lash on. This will look crazy at first, it's okay. So when I place a lash down, I don't like the inner corner to go all the way in, because like I got sensitive eyes and I hate the feeling of being able to feel my inner corner. So I actually kind of start it a little further out, kind of around there. And if I'm looking down into my mirror, I can kind of count how many clusters I'm going to chop off. So usually it's about 2. And once you get the hang of this, and once you've worn lashes for a while, you'll kind of get an idea of how many chops you need to do, right? Okay, you can kind of see all the clusters there, like at the base of the lash. So I'm going to chop off about 4 of those little clusters at the base. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try about that much. Done. Then what I like to do too on the inner part of the lash, sometimes the band still comes out just a little bit, and so I like to do a little angle cut onto that part of the band. To me, this just makes them feel a little more comfortable. So I'm kind of just cutting inwards right here. But I'm not cutting the actual lash part, that's just the band I was cutting. So now with my newly trimmed lash, I'm going to look down into my mirror again, kind of see what we're looking like. And that looks pretty good. I might cut off one more tiny cluster. I always find it's okay if you cut off a little too much because you can always just place the lash a little more outwards. Whereas if you left too much on the lash, it's gonna just hang down and give you that droopy look, which you don't want, right? So I'm just gonna cut off one more little snippet there. Okay, now I have my lash that is nicely trimmed to fit my left eye. Now the next question I have is, how do I angle the lashes the same on both sides, and how do I get them to sit properly along my lids? I have the worst time at placing them. So now this is probably the trickiest part about fake eyelashes, and I still struggle with this too, but I find that after you wear them for the first time, it kind of gets easier. Like the second and third wear are kind of the best. So when you get a new pair like this, you kind of want to mess with the band a little bit. So I'm going to hold the lash close to the band and just kind of wiggle it back and forth to get it a little bit flexible here. And then sometimes you can actually like just twist the lash a little bit. Sometimes I like to twist the outer corner up because you want your eyelashes to kind of go up a little bit, right? Just a little twist doesn't help. Again, I'm being very gentle. I'm not pulling or anything. Another trick I have too is that I like to apply my lashes with my fingers. I know some people like to use tweezers and tools, but I feel like I just have the most control with my hands. And so when I place down my lash, I'm gonna like pretend show you right now, I'll place it down and then I'll use both hands to kind of hold the lash in place at the outer and inner corner because those are the areas that are gonna pop off, you know? The middle of the lash will stay down pretty well, but I feel like when you have both hands just to kind of maneuver it around, it just makes it easier. So try with your hands if you can. All right, so now we're actually going to apply this lash, and the best glue in my opinion is a brush-on glue. It is so much easier to apply than a squeezy tube. You're getting a more precise amount of product. I really love the Duo brush-on adhesive with vitamins. I've used this one for years and years. If you want something with a stronger hold, the House of Lashes one is really nice too, but this is just a good go-to for me. All right, so I have my lash here, and I'm just going to brush on some glue onto the band. Just a light layer, and it is going to cover every bit of the lash, so you can see that there. And sometimes I like to put a little bit extra on the inner corner and the outer corner, just again, because like those are the spots where the lash might kind of pop up throughout the day. So now I'm just holding my lashes in my fingers. I'm going to let it dry a little bit for like 30 seconds or so. So while I'm holding this and it's drying, I'm going to answer another question. Someone said, how do I not glue my dang eyelids together? Which kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I've never accidentally glued my eyelids together, even like when I first started lashes, but I think when I started wearing them, like brush-on glue wasn't really a thing. So again, I can't stress the importance of a brush-on glue. It makes it so much easier. You're not getting glue all over the place. You're not having to like dip the band in glue. Like, get a brush-on glue, please. And it also kind of depends on the way you apply them. Some people like close their eyes and apply that, but I'm like, how are you seeing what you're doing? And I actually keep my eye open the whole time and look down into the mirror, which you're gonna see right now. So we are going to apply this lash. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm holding the lash in the center right here, and I'm going to look down into my mirror. Can you see me? Yeah, pretty good. And you're gonna pop that center on. And I'm going to take both hands, I'm going to press the inner corner down and the outer corner down. There was also someone that asked, like, are you gluing these on your actual eyelashes or your lash line? It's your lash line. So again, I'm still looking down and I'm just going to kind of hold things in place. And by looking down into my mirror, I can tell that I trimmed the eyelash good because there's no extra band coming down at all. And just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. Try not to like blink too hard, be a little gentle with it, and let the glue dry completely. So I'm not gonna mess with this for like another 2 to 3 minutes. Usually when I'm doing my makeup at this step, I'll like do my lip liner, do my lipstick, touch up my eyebrows, but I try not to touch this eyelash. Sorry if you can see my words in my script there, but I really try not to touch this eyelash for like a good 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm gonna let this eyelash dry for a bit, and in the meantime, I'm gonna pop on the other one to catch us up to speed here. All right, so I just popped on this lash and I have not touched this lash for like 3 minutes or so, right? So now the next question is, how do you blend your half lashes into your natural lashes? And someone just said they struggle with the gap between my natural lashes and the fake lashes. Now this is like my favorite question to answer because I feel like I have a good solution for this. So step number 1, you're gonna want a squeezy tool. So mine looks like this. So this one is from my brand. I don't sell them right now because I'm having issues with my manufacturer. Anyways, you can find these for really cheap on Amazon. So I'm gonna link a similar one down below. but it's not like pointy or anything. It has like a little curve to it, just a little soft shape, looks like that. I call it my squeezy tool. All right, so here's what the lash looks like on. I haven't touched it at all, and the gap isn't too bad. But if you look on this eye, I feel like I have a little bit more of a gap, but I'll fix that in a second. I'm gonna focus on this eye right now. So what I'm gonna do, take my squeezy tool, and I'm gonna place that in between all the lashes on the outer corner, and just do a little squeeze right at the base of the fake eyelashes. I'm gonna do the same thing on the inner corner. Because again, the inner and outer corner are the places where your lashes like to pop off. I'm also gonna get in here and do a little squeeze in the middle. And it's just a gentle squeeze, nothing crazy. And already that just looks much more like blended onto my eye. All right, so here's this eye with the lashes squeezed together, this one without. See how this one just like looks like it's popping off a little bit? So let's fix it. Again, same thing, getting my tweezers right in here. Little squeeze. And I'm squeezing my lashes. I'm not squeezing my skin or anything, so this shouldn't hurt. Getting in my inner corner, doing a squeeze. If you get a little stuck with glue, make sure to bring the tweezer downwards. Never pull the tweezer upwards because that's how you're gonna lift off the lash, right? So again, I'm gonna get in here and squeeze the center and lift down. So already just with that step, it looks much better, but I have a couple more tips and tricks for this step. So this lash actually went on really easily and it almost looks kind of perfect. Like I feel like I don't need to touch it up anymore, but I'm going to show you what I do anyways, but this doesn't always happen, but I'm like, dang, this looks good. But this one needs a little work. So here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take a tiny black pen liner. This one is by Tarte. It's the Double Take Awake. A couple brands sell any kind of like micro tip liner like this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a little line, kind of like a little dotted line on that inner part of my top lash line. Because like I said, I don't place my lashes all the way inwards because I don't like that feeling. So I kind of mimic that look of having that thicker lash band with this eyeliner. So again, I'm gonna get close into my mirror, kind of opening my eye a little bit, a little crazy eye here. Little line. And I'm just kind of like pressing it in. Okay, so you can see that little line that I drew right there. So it just kind of looks more connected and like the lashes kind of like belong on my face. Now let's do this side. So here is the before with no liner. And again, my eye is open the whole time. And there's what it looks like with that line drawn in the inner corner. So again, much more connected looking. I almost always do that little eyeliner step. Now, if I'm really struggling with the gap, like things are just looking crooked, it looks messy, I did a sloppy job at applying them, I'm gonna take some dark eyeshadow, either a dark brown or a black. You can kind of use either just depending on your preference. So I'm just gonna go into my Natasha Denona My Dream palette. And I'm gonna take this dark brown aspiration on a little angled brush. And I'm just gonna run this across the entire lash band. So again, I'm just getting close into my mirror. Sometimes I like to pull my lid so I can get a more smooth line. So I'll just pull it a little bit. And I'm not using a lot of eyeshadow, just a tiny bit. Okay, so there's what it looks like with the eyeshadow on top. Again, it's just kind of a nicely little smudged eyeshadow, nothing too harsh or intense. And I'm also gonna kind of go on top of that little line I drew in here. There, just to make that nice and connected. Okay, so there it is with all of the eyeshadow. Now, if you're still having gapping, you're like, Angela, this isn't working. I can still see some of my skin under my eyelash. I got one more trick for you. I'm gonna take a black pigmented long wearing eyeliner pencil. This one is by Wonder Skin. These last pretty dang long in the waterline and tight line. They don't last forever, but they last pretty well. Right here, you can see like the skin up there. That's completely normal, like that's fine. But if you want your lashes to just be like really dark, really blended in, this is the step to do. So I'm almost gonna kind of blink into the eyeliner. I'm gonna switch to my phone so you can kind of see the angle that I'm at. And I'm just gonna run this across my tight line. So that just took a few seconds. Now if I lift this up, you can kind of see my little dots of liner in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just like how that looks. Okay, so here is this eye done with all of my tips and tricks I can give you on how to make the lash look blended into your natural lashes. And I feel like this looks pretty dang good. All right, so here's what these lashes look like on from far away. Again, the style is called Nova from the Bright Lashes, and I wore this style on purpose because of the next question. Someone said, I always wear glasses and find that the lashes always rub against the lenses, and I totally get that, and that's why I created Nova and Minimalist for my lash brand, because they are significantly shorter than most lashes, so they're not gonna touch your lenses. And let me show you with a pair of glasses. All right, so I'm gonna pop on these glasses like a normal person on the bridge of my nose, and I'm gonna zoom you in. Hopefully you can kind of see here, if I look up and down, the lashes are not rubbing against the lenses. I don't know what angle you need to see here to believe me, but I promise you they're not rubbing. I've also had many subscribers wear Nova and Minimalist with their glasses. Davina is one person I'm thinking of in particular. She has no problem with Nova and her glasses that she wears daily. So I had a lot of questions in general just about like eye shapes and what style of lash is best for your eye shapes, and I was doing some online research for you, and I found that House of Lashes and Huda Beauty both had a really great guide on their websites, kind of like how to determine your eye shape and what styles work best for them. So I'm gonna link both of those websites down below for you. I found it really helpful myself too, and I don't want to go too much in depth on that on this video just because there's so many eye shapes out there, but I will link both of those websites down below for you. And then I had someone ask what price point is considered good quality, and this was an interesting question because I don't feel like price and quality go hand in hand, but I have tried a bunch of different brands of lashes and styles before, so I wanted to tell you just a couple other brands that I do like and ones that I think are worth the money if you want to like splurge a little bit, and maybe some lash brands that I don't love as much. I do want to mention that there are lashes made out of different materials out there that you would find between brands. So some brands do sell mink eyelashes, which is animal fur. When I first started doing makeup and wearing lashes, I was wearing mink lashes for a while, but I decided to stop doing that because I don't want animal fur on my lashes and they're not cruelty free. Mink lashes are also just more expensive and they shed a lot and they're just like a little too fluffy in my opinion, which is why I now prefer a faux mink lash, which most brands do carry. So out of all the other lash brands out there, I do really enjoy House of Lashes lashes. It's been a while since I've worn their lashes because I really only wear my lash brand now because why not, you know? But House of Lashes does have so many styles, and I really like how they'll take like a style of their lash and make a light version of it, so kind of a more natural looking version. So they have like Iconic, which is like their iconic lash, then they have Iconic Lights, and I just think their website is very well organized. If you're new to lashes, you can like search by eye shape, you can search by occasion. Their price point is very similar to my lash brand, but I think they have a great line of lashes. I also really like Lily lashes and velour lashes if you want something a little more high-end and kind of fluffier, I would say. But again, I do prefer their faux mink versions, not the mink ones. And then I know at the drugstore, Ardell and Kiss are the most like widely available, but I don't love their lashes just because I find their bands to be a little plasticky and a little pokey in my opinion. And to me, their lash bands are a little too flexible, which make them hard to stay on, but you really can't go wrong with an Ardell Demi Wispy. That's like one of the like most classic lashes out there that's inexpensive. But I would just be careful with those lash brands if you don't like a pokey lash band, kind of like me, because I have kind of sensitive eyes and I'm sensitive to the things that are touching my eyelids. But that's also why I like my brand of lashes, because I do kind of have, I wouldn't say it's a thick band on the lashes, but it's definitely not a thin band. It's like right in the middle, which is my personal preference, which is why I sell these lashes. Then I had someone say they were wondering about staying power and any fail stories, as they want to know what happens if I leave them on during a long work day, summer day, etc. So I'd say for most fake eyelashes, they last pretty well for, I would say, about like 8 hours or so. Personally, by the end of like an 8-hour day, my lashes are definitely popping off a little bit, mostly towards the inner corner, which is why I prefer half lashes, which I'll get into in just a second here. So by the end of the day, your lashes might be popping off a little bit, but honestly, that's totally normal. Like glue wears down throughout the day. You don't want them to stay on forever. But again, if you do want a strong holding glue, the House of Lashes glue is really well for that. But if you did all the lash tips that I told you, you know, to do a little eyeliner, to do a little tight lining, as the lash starts to pop off, you won't really notice, you'll probably feel it, but from far away, like they'll still look like they're on, but they just kind of might be bothering you a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go into how you remove, clean, and store your eyelashes. So I'm going to remove these eyelashes that I just put on. So overall, I had some people ask, how do you remove them? And then someone said they have a fear of gluing too close to my lashes and pulling my real ones out. I don't think I've ever pulled out my natural lashes while removing strip ones, and here is how I remove them. So like I said, by the end of the day, your lashes might be popping off a little bit already, but I did just glue these on like 10 minutes ago now. But here's what I do. So I know some people like to kind of loosen up the glue with maybe like a makeup remover or something like that, but I really don't like to get anything on my lashes such as water, cleanser, oil. Like the more you keep your lashes dry and just away from other things, the better they're gonna last and just look prettier and stay cleaner. So all I'm gonna do is take my little fingers and I'm gonna gently lift from the outer corner and see how gently that just pulled off? And then once I have this corner, I can just keep pulling to get to my inner corner. And that is it. Like, so simple. And there we are. No natural lashes ruined. So same thing, just getting off that little outer corner so I kind of know where my natural lashes are. And you also want to try to grab from the base of the lash because you don't want to accidentally pull out any of these lashes, right? You want your lashes to stay nice and put. So that's what that looks like now. And you can see my little eyeliner there where the glue was, the line under my eyes, so I look a little crazy, but we're gonna fix this. I'm gonna quickly remove just this little line of eyeshadow off camera so I don't look so crazy when I'm talking to you. I will be right back. All right, we are back. I tried my best to remove that little line of eyeshadow. It's not perfect, but I feel like I can talk this way. So the next most asked question I got was how to clean your fake eyelashes. Someone said, how do I clean them without destroying them? What is the best remover tool to get the glue off of my lashes? Someone struggles with the glue buildup and pulling the glue off ruins the lashes, so let's talk about that really quick. So like I said, I've been wearing lashes for years and years and years, and I've never seen like a tool to get the glue off of lashes like that. Should I create something like that? Because that would be great, right? So how I get my glue off of my fake eyelashes is, again, with my fingers. I use my fingers for everything with fake eyelashes. I'm now realizing, like, you don't really need special tools, just use your fingers. Let me find a pair of dirty lashes. I'm not gonna do the ones that I just took off, just because that glue is still a little sticky and I wanna find, like, a dirty pair of lashes. So let me look in my drawer here. Okay, I have a pair here that I've worn a few times. This is Angela from my brand, The Bright Lashes. And let me show you how these look. So you can kind of see the little globs of glue at the top there. There might be some fuzzies on here, but there's not much eyeshadow, which is kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna go to this view so you can see what I'm doing. So you can kind of see my dirty lash there. So I'm gonna hold the lash as close to the band as possible, and I'm just gonna gently pull. Like wherever I'm gonna pull at is where I'm gonna grab the lash at, and I can kind of get a little glue. See, just like that. Boom. Gone. Like, honestly, I don't think there's any better or easier way to do this. I do find it's best to do this without any nails on if you can. Like, it's easier for me to do this when I have no press-on nails on. So I'm just gonna, see, I'm pulling this glue right here. Just gently pull off. Sometimes you might get a little lash that was in the band, and that's fine. It's not gonna fall apart. And already it looks so much better. There's actually like one little lash here that's poking out. So I'll actually just take my tweezers at this band here and pull that out. See? Got that. And now it looks much, much better. So I don't think there's any easier way. I think this is the way to go. But again, with cleaning your lash, I recommend not using any water, any makeup remover. Like, you want to keep your lashes as dry as possible or else they're just not going to keep their shape. So what I'll also do too is with that lash I just cleaned off, I'll just take like a little spoolie, and maybe if there's some eyeshadow, maybe if there's like some eyeshadow, some glitter on it, I'll just kind of gently just like brush it off. Nothing crazy here. Okay, I want to show you another little trick that I like to do. So here is another slightly dirty pair of lashes. Do you see that like little bit of glitter right here in this inner corner? So let's say you like can't get that off with your fingers. So what I do is I take a black liquid liner, again that same one that I used in my little waterline here. There's a little bit of glitter here, and I just take my eyeliner, just brush on top of it. You know, sometimes glitter is hard to get off lashes, but most lashes are black, so just take a black liner, draw right over it. Like, why not? And there you go, that little bit of glitter is covered. Just a black liquid liner. Easy peasy. All right, then I had someone ask, what is the best way to store your lashes and how many times can you wear them? So for storing your lashes, I always recommend putting them back into their case. This will be the safest place for your lashes. But if you're like me, maybe you're a little lazy. And in my case, my bathroom where I take off all my makeup is downstairs, where my makeup room right here is upstairs, and like I'm not gonna go upstairs to remove my lashes, put them in this case, and then walk back downstairs to wash my face. No. So what I do, I brought this up here with me to show you. So what I do is I take an old jar. This was a moisturizer that I cleaned out and finished, and I keep this in my downstairs bathroom. don't know why it's so tightly on here right now, and I'll just pop my lashes into here. I know this just looks like a jar of spiders, but like this is a safer spot in here than it would be on my kitchen counter, on my coffee table, on my bedside table. Like this is safer if you can't put them in your lash box. You'll also notice if you look in here, 90% of these are half lashes. I like only wear half lashes now. So this is just a safe spot where I keep them if I'm too lazy to put them in their case, and then like every other week or so I'll bring my jar up here and try to put them back into their home case so I know what style is what. And then to continue that question, they asked how many times can you wear your lashes? So for most lashes, especially mine that have kind of a medium thickness band like I talked about earlier, I can wear them probably 5 to 10 times before they start to look a little crusty looking and I should like probably get a new pair. And I also feel like it kind of depends on what makeup look you're wearing the lashes with. So if I were to only wear makeup looks like this where I have just very minimal eyeshadow on and always wear a pair of fake lashes, these will probably last longer than a pair of lashes I wore with a super glittery, intense eyeshadow look, because that glitter and eyeshadow would get on the lashes eventually throughout the day, you know what I mean? And then again, to elongate the life of your lashes, keep them stored in a safe place, whether it's a moisturizer jar or their actual case. Try not to put any mascara on them, and then again, don't get them wet, don't use any cleanser or any kind of makeup remover on them. Okay, now I feel like I've gone over so many like tiny tips and tricks and questions about a full strip lash, and I want to quickly talk about half lashes because like you saw in my jar, I am a half lash lover. I'm team half lash all the way. So I feel like half lashes really gained popularity over the last few years, especially like with this more natural makeup style we've had kind of since the pandemic. People are just leaning towards a more natural eye style, and half lashes are perfect for that because they're just going to lightly accentuate the outer corner of your lashes. But the best part about half lashes is that they are so much easier to apply. I feel like they wear longer because you're not like messing with the inner corner. You literally just pop it on the outer corner and it's so much faster for me to apply than a full strip lash. All right, so let's apply half lash. I'm going to be applying Flutter by my brand, The Bright Lashes. This is the best-selling lash overall on my website. It's the best half lash seller and it's just the best seller overall. I feel like the style works for literally everyone. So if you're looking at my lashes and you're like, I don't know what to try Flutter because so many people just love it. I also feel like it's kind of hard to find some half lashes on the market, but again, my brand does carry 4 half lash styles: Flutter, Flirt, Flare, and Vivid. If you want something that's just really natural, just a little subtle touch on the outer corner, Flirt will be your go-to. If you want a little more drama or you kind of have just naturally thick lashes, check out Flare or Vivid. But I feel like Flutter's just a good in-between, and I swear it looks good on everyone. So again, this is a fresh pair of lashes. I'm going to do the exact same steps I did earlier, so I'm going to gently pull out the lash. Actually, with the half lash, I would recommend using tweezers just to get that little outer corner out, just because you don't always have to trim your half lashes, so you don't want to mess up any part of this lash. But I am going to trim these a tiny bit. All right, so this is a fresh pair of Flutter. So again, I'm going to trim out this little area, just this part of the band, and kind of do a little angled little snip right there. And with half lashes, you still kind of want to measure them on your eye and see how they're going to fit, because you might need to trim them a little bit, but it'll definitely be easier than trimming a full lash. So I'm going to pop these on. And again, the nice part about this is that I don't have to mess with these inner corner. I hate the inner corner. It's so annoying. So again, with the half lash, you want that outer part to just go where your natural lashes are, and not any further out, just right here. And they should pop on pretty easily. So you can see that's just gently placed on there. And for me, this lash is almost a little long and I don't like how it comes in so far. This is the center of my eye, right? And I want my half lash to just go right out here. I don't really want the lash to go where the curve of my eye is. You want it to stop before the curve. So let's say if I place the lash a little farther out, I got quite a bit to trim. So again, I look at the lash in little clusters, and this is more to kind of get the lashes even on both eyes. If I cut off 2 clusters on one lash, I'll probably cut off 2 clusters on the other eye, right? Okay, so I am going to trim off 2 clusters. Boom, go done. Do a little adjusting the band, and let's see how that looks. Much better. So with the half lashes, you don't really have to adjust the band as much, so they're just kind of as they are. I'm going to take my same Duo lash glue, brush on some glue. So again, I'm going to look down into my mirror with my eye open, and just place that lash down. And again, I take both hands, kind of adjust that, but this lash should go on much easier than a full strip lash. Like, see how there's just less adjustments to do? All right, so just like that, I'm gonna go trim the other one while I wait for this one to dry and pop on the other lash. All right, just popped on this lash. This one has been just chilling for like 2 minutes or so. So I'm gonna do the same exact step, take my little squeezy tool here. And again, this is easier because there's only just one part to squeeze. Again, I'm just gonna look down into my mirror and squeeze at the base. Boop. And see how I'm kind of stuck right here? Pull downwards. Again, don't pull upwards because that's going to lift up the lash. And sometimes I might need to do like one little extra squeeze right here at that inner part of the lash just to get it to lay down nicely on the center of my eye. And I'll kind of do the exact same step where I take a dark brown or black eyeshadow. In my other video where I show you exactly how to apply a half lash, I do go a lot more into depth on how to blend your fake lashes into your natural lashes, especially for a half lash, because sometimes it's kind of obvious. But so check out that video for more tips and tricks. But I'm going to kind of do the same step where I take my dark brown or black eyeshadow and do a little stamping on the lash line. And then I might add some more of that liner, my waterline, to the like natural lashes that are peeking through. Just because I want to thicken this area up. And that inner corner line that I drew on way earlier is still there, and that's exactly what I want to. So it just kind of looks like I have a nice thick lash line and then some thicker lashes on the outer corner. Here's how the half lashes look on in this camera, so you can see this view. So hopefully you can kind of see in that clip how much easier it is to apply a half lash. It's really just popping it on, squeezing, a little adjusting, good to go. And like I said too, I do feel like half lashes kind of last a little bit longer on your eye because you don't have to worry about the inner corner popping up. And also your fake lash isn't close to your inner tear duct, so you're not going to get like watery eyes that will loosen the glue. I just love half lashes. They're the best in my opinion. Okay, so I think we finally got to the end of this video. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've just been talking about lashes forever. So I hope that I was able to answer any questions and just struggles you may have with fake eyelashes. Again, I'll link those other 2 videos down below where I show you more in depth how I'm applying them with some more close-up views. I'm going to link everything that I talked about down below today, especially my brand, The Bright Lashes, and you can use the code YouTube to save at 15% off your purchase. If you have any questions I didn't answer, you can go ahead and leave them down below and I'll try my best to get back to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.